We deliver products across two training packages, the ICT package and the BSB package. Most of our target market are existing workers. They're already in the IT industry. We looked at creating clusters of learning and assessment that mapped back to the training package. So to make them effective workers, basically. Most of our courses have 4 clusters. The first one is our core infrastructure. Then we look at continuity and security. Then we look at continuous improvement. So we look at project management and design and how they can improve things in that third cluster. And the final cluster is how do they govern it? How do they manage it? So it's IT governance. We have very much an interactive course where people will go and watch a snippet of video. They'll listen to someone on an audio, or they might see a demonstration of how to do it. Then when we assess them, how do we assess online? The quiz engines have just changed so much. There is now build list stuff, there's drag and drop. Telling us how they do things, in what order they do things on a server, tells me they know how to do it. Because the physical action is when you're installing a server, when you're doing stuff, is clicking. Within 2 weeks, they've got to have a research report back to us. And they're researching something that they probably know nothing about, which is great because we're taking them out of their comfort zone. We're getting them to think about things outside of what they know, and we're getting to use important research skills that they're going to need throughout the course. So I guess the main component for success with an online course, and I think it's across all genres, across every faculty, will be regular engagement with the course, materials, and with your instructor. Our ideal is that everyone will achieve their goal. So by getting them engaged early, we know, yes, they've engaged, great, yes, we've got contact with them, yes, they're underway, and we know that we can monitor from there. When we assess people will do quizzes, and we'll test knowledge there for sure. Sometimes we'll test methods of how to do things as well. We have simulations, so we have about 8 simulated companies that we have. They have a company profile, they have a business plan, they've got interviews with various key stakeholders in the organisation. Someone will log onto our system, they'll do the learning, they might even be directed off somewhere else to do learning. Once they've done these, they can come back and then go, right, now I need to do my assessment. And some of them will be a little bit surprised that they actually physically have to do something. So even though it's an online thing and they've read a lot and they've watched a lot, they now actually have to show us the proof. So they get to do a simulation. So whether it's a router, so they'll have an interface to a router that they'll need to do the configuration of that router, physically do it, physically get it right from a specification from the client. And once they've done that specification, we'll look at that. If it's correct, then they can pass that unit. But quite often, doing an assessment can be a learning experience on its own. So there are things that we will have in our assessments that maybe were not covered off in depth during the training, or that maybe they needed to look at from a different perspective, and we'll throw a different perspective at them in the assessment, because in the real world, they get that. When they go back and review the quiz, once we've marked it and we yes, no, we have the ability to type in some comments, but there's also the links there that we've provided as feedback for each of those. Even if they got it right, they can still see those feedback links and go and have a look and read more about it if it interested them. Yes, we have the same assessment for everyone, there's no question. However, we do have students that cannot necessarily cope with the assessment that we present. There are people with special needs. There are people that maybe they have a different type of widget they work with in their business. They just apply, and as long as it meets those elements, skills and knowledge that are within the training package, we'll approve that. For us, the interface is certainly, I guess it has 2 levels. It needs to be usable and it needs to be navigable. People need to be able to get around it fairly well. The key is that students want to have it up 24/7. They want to be working on it when they want to work on it, and that is why people come to us.